Like they advertise one match by crashing a car into one of the wrestlers. Not a total victory of Russia, which now we're seeing. He goes on.
Gigantic bag of flaccid dicks. Sorry, continue.
Which, when you open them up, you find out that they're all cockroaches inside.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody else is ever going to laugh this hard at anything we say.
We can actually both look out my window right now and see some very pretty yellow flowers that I'm going to be eradicating. This is a Geek History of Time,
where we connect nerdery to the real world. My name is Ed Blaylock. I'm a world history teacher here in Northern California with a side hustle teaching English to 7th graders. And I'm the father of a 2-year-old who is alternately the sweetest little boy in the world and gives a new meaning to the phrase terrible twos. And who are you, sir?
I'm Damian Harmony. I'm a Latin teacher with a sometimes side hustle of world history. I'm the father of an almost 8-year-old little girl and a 10-year-old big boy. She likes dragons, he likes trains. Between the two of them, they make a really cool country song. And neither of them are too
I would
terrible.
listen to that.
Yeah. So
totally listen to that.
Yeah. Although, you know what my daughter's really into? Greek myths. She digs the shit out of them, and she really likes Greek myths, which is cool. But it hasn't helped me get her into the thing that I'm really into,
which is
comic books.
See, I was thinking you were going to say wrestling.
No, I kind of got her into that actually.
Okay,
but she's kind of fallen away. Although now that everybody is on lockdown. I'm not sure when this episode's going to post, so but we're recording it while we're on lockdown. But the corpses have not started animating yet, so that's good.
That's good.
Yes,
very good.
But we have lost Kenny Rogers, so
we just did.
Yeah,
as a matter of fact, we can. So if you are any future historians who are listening to this post, you can date when we recorded this one.
Mm-hmm. Based on that fact.
By that fact.
Yeah. So. But yeah, I could get her into wrestling through exposure. Like we have nothing but time.
This is true. Yeah. I think I have a way for you to get her into comics.
I like this idea.
Using Greek mythology.
I like this idea.
Okay. All right. So hear me out.
Okay.
So 3-color comics, right? Mm-hmm. Superhero comics. They are melodrama.
By the way, we've done a number of comic book episodes. The very first 2 episodes we did were on the CCA. I've done one on the Fantastic Four. I've done 2 on Captain America.
We did a series on the X-Men.
Yes, we did a series, a combo series on the X-Men. So we are steeped in comic lore.
Yes. Yeah. And so even when we're talking about low-powered micro-regional heroes like Daredevil, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. He's waging a battle for the soul of an entire borough of a city, right? Okay. Green Lantern handles threats to entire local galactic clusters. And DC likes to threaten the existence of the entire universe on a semi-regular basis since the 1980s.
Okay.
Mostly because they keep trying to inflict canon. They try to impose logic and internal consistency on a canon that has never had it, and I'm going to argue doesn't actually need it because of the nature of the stories they tell.
Okay. Which
I'm going to get to in a second.
Sure.
Although they're all melodrama, though, there's a really notable difference in tone and scale between, in general, the stories that DC tells and the stories that Marvel tells. And my argument is that DC superheroes have become, over time, the modern reincarnations of the gods of the Achaeans. By which I mean the Greeks, for anybody who's not, hyper nerdy like we are.
Yeah. Okay, so you're saying that the DC Comics superheroes are They are the Greek gods.
Yeah, you can map. In many cases you can map a deity onto a superhero.
Sure. Oh my God, I'm suddenly interested in DC for once.
Yeah, no, I mean, remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah.
So real quick, I want to talk a little bit about DC as an entity.
Sure.
Just to give a little historical background. DC started out as National Allied Publications in 1934.
Okay.
With New Fun, the Big Comic magazine, which was the first comic publication to print only original comic stories. You may have touched on this in the CCA episodes when we talked about the history of the medium. Superman appeared in Action Comics in 1938.
Yep.
Batman appeared in Detective Comics in 1939. And it is with the big two that I'm going to begin my thesis. Okay.
We're already missing one of the big three.
That would be Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay, possibly. I was thinking of the three brother gods that buried. Oh. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Ooh, does this mean the Teen Titans are actually like going to destroy the galaxy? Because they're Titans.
Oh, maybe.
Neat.
I don't know.
Okay. I'm kind of getting into this now. It's kind of a revolutionary flair, DC. Nice.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So first and foremost.
Yeah.
First and foremost, Superman is Apollo.
Okay, so I'm already off base. I mean, that makes a ton of sense. Oh wow. Yeah. Okay. Go on.
Okay. Now the thing is, he's also kind of Zeus. But the mapping works better for Apollo.
Right.
Right off the bat, Superman is a god.
Yes.
Let's just in the Greek sense of what a god would look like.
Right.
Supes is one. Right.
Well, and we talked about that before. He's the classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He is invulnerable. He is super strong. Like
solar power.
Ridiculously. Yes. he can see the unseeable.
Ooh, yeah.
He throws fire from his gaze. His breath has the force of a cyclone, and he can fly.
Yeah.
Okay. His fortress of solitude is an unreachable by mortals palace at the top of the world. All white and white stone and ice.
Oh, wow.
It's Olympus. Okay. He is specifically Apollo, as you mentioned, because he is solar powered. Powers are derived canonically from the sun. And we talk about this all the time back and forth. He is the embodiment of Apollonian ideals.
Yes.
He's a champion of moral rectitude, positivity, progress, and do right.
You have no idea how hard I was biting my tongue and not jumping in with Apollonian ideal because I wanted you to get there. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. At his roots, he was a progressive science fiction-esque hero, an alien from another planet.
Sure.
Who subdued but never destroyed agents of chaos. Even in the years since, as other heroes have gotten darker or grimmer or more morally gray,
right.
All Bronze Age people from the 90s, all that stuff, pouches
super
everywhere,
gritty.
guns, like all over, Supes has never stopped being...
Oh, I was going to say, he did wear a leather jacket at one point, though. So he Fonzied out. That's as gritty as he gets.
Okay. That's as gritty as he got. No, that doesn't, I'm sorry, no, he's still Dudley fucking do-right.
He is. He also is one of those heroes that wears all three primary colors.
This is true.
Right.
So that's leadership, self-sacrifice, and
exemplar.
Blue is self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
Gold
Yellow
is leadership.
And red is heroism, courage.
Courage, right? Yeah. Okay, so he's never stopped being that Apollonian paragon. Okay, like occasionally somebody will throw red kryptonite at him and he'll kind of go dark.
Sure.
But that's because they need a MacGuffin for the story, and he always goes back to status quo ante. And he's the brightest source of light in the DC pantheon. And even in stories where he has internal conflict, he only stays conflicted very briefly before reasserting his essential moral rightness. Okay.
Yeah.
When we talked about New BSG, we talked about Hilo.
Hilo, which is short for Helios.
Yes. And him being that character. If you put a temptation in front of Hilo, he's going to resist it. Like Chekhov's temptation. That's like how that works with Hilo.
Right.
Soups is the same way. And there's a lot to be said about the Jewish roots of his character.
Of course.
Siegel and Schuster were both Jewish. There's been like plenty of people have spoken much more articulately than me about how Superman is a response on their part to what they saw happening in Germany at the time.
Right.
But over time, the overall archetype has moved away from Samson toward Apollo/Zeus, but mostly Apollo.
Oh, wow. Okay. Do you think Samson, because I'm a big believer that the Mediterranean is all the same thing, which I paint with broad brushes because it saves time. But like you have a lot of heroes in the Mediterranean culture. I'm going to just call it that, whether they're Hebrew or Roman or Greek or Arcavian or
whatever,
Arcadian, or Carthaginian, and they all tend to have the same basic beats in their stories. Do you think that Samson, in some ways, is a Hebrew response to Apollo, or that Apollo was in some ways a Greek response to? Well, no, because the Minoans had been around since 8,000, so I would say Apollo's earlier.
Here's what I'm going to say. I don't think he's not Samson. The beats of Samson's story are much closer to the beats of Heracles.
Okay, gotcha.
And the theme that is hammered on over and over and over again with Samson specifically is the covenant with the one God.
Okay. All right. Is a question I had because I find similarities between.
It's meaningful because we're talking about superheroic figures. We're talking about semi-divinity, divinity.
Yeah.
We're talking about archetypes, so it makes sense. But I think in my own back at my thumbnail analysis, I think Samson would map much better onto Heracles. In that way, because everything Heracles was doing was to prove his worthiness in the sight of Zeus, his father. Samson gained his strength through his faith in Yahweh.
Okay.
It's
it's kind of like Romulus and Remus are the Roman response to Moses. Oedipus and Achilles, you've got 2 ankle injuries, and then Jesus gets spiked through the feet. Like, there is something about being injured in the foot and being a tragic hero.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah, and so like I find things like that. Up. Yeah. Not something that you thought of, or I'm just way off base?
No, just that particularly the parallel with Oedipus hadn't occurred to me. Yeah.
Son of a shepherd.
It's okay. That's Soups.
Okay.
So that's Soups.
Okay.
Right?
Cool.
Now,
so we've got Apollo.
Batman.
Done. Okay. Batman. Yeah. Let me think.
Batman
lives in a dark. Oh, okay. I think I've got it. I think I've got Batman, but I want to hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Batman is Hades.
I was right. All right.
Yeah. But wait, you say.
But wait.
Bats is mortal.
He is mortal.
But is he though?
No, he's fucking ageless.
Well, one. But here's the deal.
His parents get killed every 10 years. If we look at Batman right now, the movie they were stepping out of, quite probably, was Space Jam.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Canonically, he's younger than us, which fucking sucks.
Yeah, Jesus. So he's explicitly stated to be. It gets harped on all the time that he doesn't have powers. He doesn't have powers. But he is superlative in every way. He's an Olympic level gymnast, a master martial artist. He's explicitly stated to be the world's greatest detective, and he's an absolute determinator who is utterly relentless and monomaniacally focused.
Now, I would say that Hades also doesn't really have powers so much as he's a steward of his realm, and Batman is that for Gotham. And Hades is keeping people in his realm because that's where they belong, and trying to keep interlopers out. And Batman is
and
kind
maintaining order over the kingdom of the dead.
Does that make Robin Persephone?
That is fucked up.
But it's not wrong. I mean, mapping doesn't have to pay attention to gender.
I was going to go with Catwoman. Because the thing is, here's the deal.
Half the time she's with him.
Yeah, Persephone was feared by the Greeks.
Good point.
As the queen of the underworld.
Yeah.
So.
And Hades is the only Greek god who's loyal to his wife too, if I recall.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Hephaestus.
There are several webcomic series going on right now.
Oh yeah.
That take a modern look at the relationship between Persephone and Hades.
Mm.
And they're wonderful.
Oh, nice.
They're way too much fun.
Nice.
One of them, you'd appreciate the title of one of them, Punderworld.
Ooh. I like
and
this.
And then, and the other one is Lore Olympus, which I recommend. Look for both of them. I highly recommend going out, reading them. They're amazing.
Okay.
So you spoke about, Hades having his realm.
Right.
Furthering my argument about Batman essentially being a god. Mm-hmm. It's true that he's focused on Gotham, but he still winds up getting sucked into all the JLA's global and cosmic scale bullshit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And it's always like, I really don't want to be here. Can I go home?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm here because literally I'm the smartest guy in the room, and you need me. But like, as soon as we're done, I'm going back to Wayne Manor.
Yeah.
To do another 200 push-ups, and then I'm going back out in the streets. Like, I'm like, why am I here?
Sure.
So, and I should point out that in multiple what-if kind of stories and timelines of the DC multiverse, Batman has been granted the godlike power of a lantern ring.
Oh.
And that has always ended badly, remarkably badly, because Batman is too powerful.
Right. Okay.
Because it's all based on willpower, imagination, and powered by it's what you do with it is based on your imagination and your creativity.
Right.
And then the raw power you have is based on your willpower.
Hal Jordan must be such a goddamn tool then, because I remember seeing so many like giant fists and huge swords. It's like, what the shit is this?
Like, come on.
But okay, it was the 50s and 60s. But okay, so Batman is Hades. Okay. So, and you're saying that Catwoman would be Persephone, not Robin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Robin might be Kerberos.
Oh,
don't know.
Okay. I would think Alfred would be Kerberos.
Oh, that's better. I like that. So
I don't know if you know this. The word Kerberos comes from a Greek word that means spot.
Yeah. In Punderworld, it should be noted, Kerberos is portrayed as being a 3-headed Dalmatian.
Oh, adorable!
And there's a one frame comic of Persephone down on her knees with Kerberos in front of her, and she's scritching one head and patting another head, and the third head of Kerberos is lying on the floor whimpering, and she has this panicked look on her face. You can tell she's talking to Hades. She's like, I don't have enough hands.
Cute.
So anyway, back to Bats. He's Hades because Hades' real power is a bottomless fortune.
Go on.
Hades is the god of wealth.
No, that's Hermes.
No.
Hermes is the god of commerce, but that doesn't mean wealth. Oh, wow.
Hades is the god of wealth because he's the god of the underworld, and that's where gold comes from.
And he keeps getting 2 pennies for every person that comes across.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And what is Batman's real superpower other than
being really rich?
I have all the money in the fucking world.
Right.
Hades was king of the underworld. Gold and all gemstones were his property. Also, Batman is the night to Superman's day. He's brooding, gloomy, troubled, melancholic. His sanctum is literally underground in a cave. Although he's part of the JLA, there's a recurring theme of him being an outsider, separate partly by choice. Why the fuck am I here? And partly because he's so brooding and fucking spooky.
Yeah.
Only Superman is the only one who ever gets called out as being his friend. The rest of the JLA are allies or even tools.
Oh, wow.
For Batman.
Okay.
And Hades was a judge and overseer of the punishments of sinners like Sisyphus and Tantalus.
Right.
Superman operates from a place of being a champion of those weaker than himself. Batman is a vigilante, a deliverer of punishment to sinners and crooks. He's Apollonian in that he enforces and reinforces order, but where Supes is a Boy Scout writ large, Bats is acting explicitly out of revenge.
That's true, yeah.
Both of these heroes have their roots in the Depression, but Kane and Finger threw him up against mobsters and corrupt officials, acting out the revenge fantasies of an audience who'd seen the vast corruption that happened under Prohibition and were suffering through a depression caused by the runaway greed of untouchable elites. So the wish fulfillment involved in Batman is we're going to make them pay. The wish fulfillment in Superman is I'm going to be invulnerable and I'm going to be able to protect the people I couldn't protect. Okay. And so I mean that's where that dichotomy comes from. And over time that differentiation, the light and the dark and the everything has I think become more and more pronounced as the shorthand of who these characters are has become more developed, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so.
And I also want to take a moment here. You note that when I talked about Batman's creators, I made sure to mention Kane and Finger.
Yes.
Because with Superman, we always hear about Siegel and Schuster.
Right.
But up until just a couple of years ago, with Batman, we only ever heard about Bob Kane.
Right.
And if there is a purgatory, I'm not going to say he's in hell necessarily, but if there is there I think should be a special place in purgatory for Bob Kane to sit and think about what he did to Bill Finger.
Okay.
I can't remember the title of the film now, but there was a great documentary on Netflix about Finger and about how Bob Kane screwed him out of getting credit for decades. Like long after both men were dead.
Wow.
Kane was still getting sole credit when there is really strong reason to believe that a lot of the visual shorthand of the character and a lot of ideas, certainly for the rogues gallery for Batman, were not Kane.
Okay.
But Kane was the one who had all the contracts written up, and he wrote Finger out of credit forever for years.
When they went to Kane, they asked him if he had a partner, and he said, "Am I my brother's keeper?"
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, that's my when we talk about the DC heroes.
I could have said it so much better. Am I my brother's Finker? Oh well.
Oh damn.
I know.
Yeah, you could have.
I could have
missed that one.
I know.
Slipping.
Slipping.
It's all the ambient stress in the atmosphere.
No shit.
So Aquaman.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this one I know. He's what's his name? Diana. No.
I can't even muster the ability to play straight man to that one. No.
Okay, he's the most powerful of all the gods. He's Neptune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is obviously Poseidon.
Yes. Oh, God damn it. Yeah. I'm sorry. The Latinist in me. Like, I just.
Yeah, no, I know. It's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
The Romans stole everything. That's fine.
Yeah.
No, he's very clearly Poseidon. I mean, just the imagery is all there. In the comics, of course, he's the king of Atlantis, which stands in for being the ruler of the ocean. And he is a much more elemental figure in the comics than either of the other two. I mean, it's really clear. If you look at the subtext, Superman is very clearly air and fire. Right. Batman is very clearly earth. He's very, he's grounded. He's gloomy. He's melancholic. All that stuff. And Poseidon, Aquaman is like literally constantly tied to the element of water.
Right.
You know. And he is super strong. He's not as strong as Supes, but he does have superhuman strength. He is, he does have fortitude and an ability to shrug off injury that's beyond. He is.
He's very hard to hurt.
In DC terms, he is a metahuman. So I mean, that's easily figured out. Wonder Woman is Athena. Now, the obvious comparison would be to Artemis, but I'm going to say it's Athena because Batman will use batarangs to subdue people. Superman will, slap a guy around a couple of times to get him to, knock it off and get the cuffs on.
But
Wonder Woman will stab a motherfucker with a sword.
Yes.
Like she is a goddess of war. And thus Athena.
But also wisdom, because she will make you tell the goddamn truth.
Oh yeah.
She will get that out of you. Like that's her other power. Yeah.
Definitely get that out of you.
Yes. Okay.
And then the last one that I have developed anything on with thesis at this point is the Flash.
With that helmet, obviously he's Hephaestus. Yeah. Yeah.
No, clearly.
Because Hephaestus moves so fast.
And forging and a crafter. Yeah, right. Because, having a club foot doesn't slow him down at all.
No. He just runs really fast going left.
Listing to one side.
Yeah, exactly.
In a very broad, in a very large circle.
Yes.
Yeah, no. Obviously, Flash is Hermes.
Right.
And what I want to, because Speedster, the
god of travel, the god of roads,
god of travel, god of roads, god of commerce, god of anything had to go anywhere.
Well, here's what drives me nuts about Hermes is that everybody's like, oh, he's the messenger god. I'm like, that's literally one time. It's that old joke about like you see McCutcheon talking to the young man. He's like, hey, did you see that wall? He says, oh yeah. He's like, I built that wall rock by rock. But do they call me McCutcheon, the wall builder? No. And you see that church? Yeah. Oh, I helped build that church. I cast the bell. Do they call me the McCutcheon, the bell maker? No. And you see that pier down there? Yeah. I helped shape and polish everything on that pier. Do they call me McCutcheon, the pier maker? No. But you fuck one sheep.
Yep, pretty much.
But yeah, Hermes ran like 2 errands ever. And everybody's like, oh, he's the messenger god.
Oh, he's the messenger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's I think what I want to point out is the character or character, the avatar. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the right word, and it'll occur to me in 10 minutes. But his aspect as Hermes Trismegistus, who is a psychopomp for the dead.
Yes, he is.
And Barry Allen,
yes,
is the living embodiment of the Speed Force.
Yes.
And there is the character of the Black Speedster.
Oh.
Who is Death.
Oh. Okay. I don't know my DC well enough for any of that.
Okay. So yeah. So again, Hades is not the god of death. Hades is the ruler of the underworld.
Right. But Hermes gets
Hermes Trismegistus, thrice majestic, is the one who guides important souls on their way to meet Hades.
Right.
And so that psychopomp role subconsciously still shows up, even though I'm sure the guy's writing.
Oh, sure.
all of the series, like the guys writing Flash comics, if one of them actually said, "Oh yeah, no, I was totally thinking of Hermes as Psychopomp," when I didn't, like, no, I don't think they consciously did that. But it's interesting how that still
sticks with it,
shows up in the subconscious of that character being what that character is.
Oh, that's fascinating. I'm also just thinking he's the god most worshipped by the Gauls. So they have all the same gods as the Greek gods.
Yeah.
But Caesar writes about it, and he's like, and yet they worship Hermes the most. Mercury, worship him the most because of blah blah blah. Because they like commerce, they like travel, shit like that. That's just kind of their thing. But they base their entire being around Dis, and he uses Dis specifically. I think maybe he might say Orcus once, which I have a theory that there's so many words for the god of the dead. Because there's so many ways to die.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So, but
they
say that
I think it's.
Oh, go on.
Well, I think from the moment we realize, at whatever point it is in our lives, we realize that we are mortal.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many ways in which that affects our thinking.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, that figure in our myth would almost of necessity have multitude
aspects.
Of
yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think and the Gauls worship Dis as the chief god, but the one that they like the most is Mercury. And they set their days by the nights because of Dis and all kinds of stuff. And they have a Burning Man festival where they literally burn men. But yeah, it's interesting.
How much of that was really a thing, and how much of that was Caesar being Caesar?
See, here's the thing: we only have Caesar as a source. Every other source goes back to Caesar. Yeah. So
that's kind of what we know. I mean, we've talked in a prior episode. Talked his efforts. A couple of episodes we've talked about his efforts against the Gauls and other things. Yeah. and in that we discovered. I discovered the extent to which he was a self-aggrandizing propagandist. So, you know, how much of that actually is no, they actually did like burn people as a human sacrifice, and how much of that is what'll play real well back home to make me look really good when I beat these guys.
What'll get people really enmeshed in this? Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. But I
got to tell a hot story.
Okay, but so I just want to point out that this connection between Hermes and death. So go on with your hot story.
Well, no, I'm just saying that's a hot story for Caesar to tell about the Gauls.
Okay.
If you have to explain, it wasn't funny in the first place.
No, it was just I was really hopeful that you had a story about like burning people in wicker for some reason. So.
Yeah, no. I identify very strongly with my Celtic heritage, but not nearly that much. No. So you know, you can use this when you're trying to get your daughter into comics. I think this would be a way to open that door. Would be to say, hey, well, you know.
Yeah, but then I'd have to get her into DC
reading
comics.
Hades and Apollo.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like, I'm sure somebody who knows as much as you do about, you know, the classics and all that kind of stuff can find ways that there are parallels between Marvel and Greek myth.
You know, that's not a bad idea. Tell you what, after the break, I'll do a little bit of research while the commercial is running, and then after the break, I'll see what I got.
That light speed research.
You got it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's chill.
Go Wally West, young man.
Hello, Geek Timers. This is producer George, interrupting this podcast to let you know that we have space available. This space could be used to promote your product, book, event, group, even wish a special someone happy birthday. If you're interested in using this space, please contact us on Twitter via private message @GeekHistoryTime.
And those were some mighty fine ads. I like to think,
As they always
optimistically that we have multiple ads because multiple people heard our call to action on the last show and decided that it would be better that our children get to eat. So I figured during
protein.
Lent it's good
Children
to
get to eat protein.
Yes.
I mean, we're feeding our kids, but
Yes.
yeah.
I'd get to feed them
Yeah,
more
no, I agree.
if we had sponsors.
Yeah, and we'd be able to give them, a really good end of year celebration, whatever ecumenical tradition you may follow.
There you go.
So your research.
Yeah.
I saw you doing a lot of reading while we were having an ad run. What do you think you can do with that?
I think so. DC definitely the gods.
Yeah.
But I think frankly that might be why I'm turned off by DC. They're out of reach. They're too paragonic.
Well, yeah, the archetypes are all cosmic level. They don't have, like, when was the last time Bruce Wayne had to go buy himself a pair of chinos?
Exactly. So I want characters that struggle to pay their rent because that's the world my kids are going to grow up in. So
that's
well, I'm a teacher. So, but so I think I prefer Marvel as it is, and I think it's because I really like interesting heroes. And I think the more weakness a hero has, the more interesting they can become. As a result, make mine Marvel. And so I think, interestingly enough, the gods came, well, technically the gods came second to the Titans, but the gods came first, and then came the demigods. And I think all of Marvel's superheroes are actually demigods, which I think ultimately is why I think Marvel is a better property overall. And feel free to send all of your hate to Geek History Time on the Twitter, or at Harmony on the Twitter, or your sympathy to at EH Blaylock on the Twitter, because he has to deal with such a partisan hack. But I do think...
Well, okay, stop.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh,
hold on.
Sure.
You got to understand. I mean, I know more about DC than you do.
This is true.
By virtue of the fact that, I grew up being a mad, crazy Batman fan.
Oh, okay.
But in my adulthood, I'm with you 100%.
So send your hate to him as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
No, send it all. I'm fueled by it. Send it. Because like for me now as an adult, I get a lot more fulfillment out of Captain America than I do out of Superman.
Oh yeah.
Because even though Captain America is still, a big blue Boy Scout.
Yes.
The manner in which he grapples with the problems that he faces.
He could actually fail.
Human. He could actually fail. And he has actually failed in his comic history. So anyway, I'm stepping all over your thesis here. What do you got for me?
Marvel is your demigods. Marvel came second after DC, and the demigods came after the superheroes. So I would direct your attention. I primed you during the break. Take a look at the statue of Benvenuto Cellini. He did a statue of Perseus holding Medusa's head. So take a look at that statue. Now you see Perseus there, right?
That is a classically idealized male figure.
It is.
There is a lot of very, very well defined musculature there. He is a muscular young man.
He is.
He does not look like Superman. He is not bulky.
Right.
Doesn't look like a Frazetta painting of Conan. Doesn't look like a powerlifter.
Right.
He has that classical, I don't want to say androgynous, but his facial features are
boyish,
kind of high cheekbones, boyish. Not again. He doesn't have a lantern jaw. He's not a big Cro-Magnon Celt looking dude.
Right.
By our standards today, he's got long curly locks of hair. He's naked.
Yes. So what superhero do you think that he is, based on that description?
Boyish.
Lean muscles, lithe, ideal for dexterity, naked, but for the fact that he's got a costume.
Perseus. The first thing I think of is Cap being the pinnacle of human achievement.
No, we'll get to Cap later. This is
Spidey.
Spider-Man. Yes.
Spidey.
He's not overly muscled.
It took me a second, but I got there.
Yep. He's functionally muscled. He's built for
Yeah.
grace. Perseus stuck to one territory and kept it safe.
Good point.
So did Spider-Man. In fact, so did most superheroes. Now, for this to work, you have to take a look at Andromeda. That is Gwen Stacy. But because Spider-Man is a tragic version of Perseus, she dies. But he rescues her. Again, Spider-Man is tragic. Perseus is not.
Yeah.
But she is the daughter of the authority in the area. And she dies over water due to his failure to get to her on time. She was chained to a rock in the ocean.
Wow.
Yeah. Perseus has a strong drive to protect. First, he's trying to protect his mother from marriage to Aeetes, and then to protect Andromeda. He's successful because Greek demigods are usually successful at these things. Spider-Man is there to protect Aunt May because he failed with Uncle Ben, and then he fails again with Gwen Stacy, but then he succeeds with Mary Jane. He is the redemptive Perseus. The fact that Perseus was made by a shaft of bronze, if you remember how Spider-Man was made, radiation.
Newest, greatest technology available at the time of the genesis of the character. Yeah, okay.
Perseus can fly with his sandals. Spidey has web shooters on his wrists instead of on his ankles.
Yeah.
Perseus fights against Medusa, a villain with writhing tentacles on her head.
Doc Ock.
Uh-huh. A man whose additional arms have a similar writhing nature to them. Interestingly, the contrast exists after Perseus retires as well. He's one of the very few demigods who actually has a happy retirement. He fulfills his prophecy and kills Acrisius, if I recall. And then he goes and finds his own kingdom to rule, and he and Andromeda actually live happily ever after. Spider-Man is forever cursed to never live happily ever after, sadly. And it's that very contrast.
The nature.
What's that?
Oh, I was just going to say the nature of the medium is such that if he ever actually gets a permanent happy ending, you can't keep writing any stories about him anymore.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. But he's also our age's version of Perseus. Like, you don't get happy endings nowadays.
No.
He lives with integrity no matter the difficulty. He struggles against the reality that he has to contend with and that he's contained within. And he generally makes it work. And at his core, that's a very Perseus thing to do. Next on my list is good. Next on my list is Odysseus. This is an easy one.
Oh, that's Tony. That's Tony Stark.
Tony Stark. They're both
okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So Tony Stark is the princeling heir to a corporate empire. Mm-hmm. Odysseus is literally king of Ithaca.
Yes.
Both of them are hard drinkers.
Yes.
Because it's specifically mentioned in the meeting with Polyphemus that, he has this wine in his wineskin that, like, unless you water it down to this ridiculous amount, it'll knock you out. But he drinks it straight because that's how he goes. And of course, demon in a bottle. Mm-hmm. And they both have a very bad habit of getting themselves into really serious trouble because they are the smartest guy in the room, but they think they're even smarter than they are.
Yes.
And I am no man,
Right. I did this to you.
Followed by, no, fuck that. I'm Odysseus, which, maps
Say my
really
name,
well
motherfucker.
Yeah. Which maps really well onto I am Iron Man.
Yes. So they're both reluctant also to enter into their status as the lieutenant to the leaders. Neither is the leader of the group that he's a part of, but both are very clever advisors. Odysseus Odysseus didn't want to join the war against Troy, and Stark didn't want to be a superhero, right? He just wanted to be an arms maker. Odysseus pretends to be a lunatic when they come to recruit him for the Trojan War. But he also recruits Achilles to fight because he knows they need more help, and he uses a battle horn to ferret out Achilles. Technology. Tony Stark didn't want anyone knowing he was Iron Man, and he goes to great lengths to distance himself from the Avengers as anything more than a kindly donor to their cause. This is comic books. This is not MCU.
Yeah. This is not. Yeah.
He also cultivates this image of irresponsibility and playboyism, who couldn't possibly be considered to have the metal to be Iron Man.
It's interesting because that's also one of the ways in which people have criticized Iron Man as being kind of Marvel's answer to Batman.
Yes.
Because Bruce Wayne does the exact same thing.
Oh, yeah. Their superpower is both that they're insanely wealthy.
Yeah.
And really smart. Yeah. It just, Iron Man is a drunk version of Superman. The happy drunk. So.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. Yeah.
Let's see. Where was I? Oh, yes. I'm going to say that again. He doesn't want to be considered to have the metal to being Iron Man.
Yeah, no, I caught it. I didn't want to. I didn't. Okay. I didn't want to. I didn't want to grace it with a response.
Both are essentially pretenders, and while I don't want to spend too much time on the MCU because this is about comics, I would point out that he is constantly jabbing at Bruce Banner to test him to see if he can get the wrathful Hulk to come out. Both use technology and intelligence as their main weapons. Odysseus is also an excellent bowman. He's also one of the main advisors of the Greek leadership during Trojan War, like I said. He thinks outside of the box a number of times and serves as the brains, whereas Ajax serves as the brawn. As the cool-headedness, whereas Achilles provides the rage. From the very beginning, Odysseus shows an affinity for using tools and technology to get his way. He ties uneven animals to a plow to demonstrate that he's a lunatic, because that'll fuck up your plow.
Okay, right.
He uses a horn to get out Achilles. He gathers armor, arrows, weapons, etc. to help outfit other fighters for the Greeks, including Achilles' armor and Hercules' arrows for Neoptolemus. Iron Man regularly updates his own armor, but he also provides the Avengers with their own jet, the Quinjet. Right? They have state-of-the-art automated mansion, complete with a high-tech training defense system, etc., and his very origin is where he's forced against his will to create weapons for other people to use.
All right. Yeah.
Both of them, frankly, are one-note ponies. Ponies.
Yeah.
Odysseus' main trick.
Have we mentioned yet anywhere on the series, that there are basically two figures in all of history or popular culture that you actually kind of have a hate heart on against. One of them is Ronald Reagan, who we've discussed, and the other one is Tony Stark.
It's true. It's very true.
I just think in the moment that you're bringing up this, you're both one-note ponies. Like, I think it should be pointed out that you have a little bit of an axe to grind here. Probably,
and former guest of the show, Tim, the comic book writer, would certainly be yelling at me right now. But look at Odysseus, right? What's his main trick for getting into Troy? Hide guys in the belly of a giant beast, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Trojan horse, right? But then to get out of the cave with Polyphemus, hide guys near the belly of a giant beast. He constructs wicker work so they can hide under the giant sheep. His only trick is, let's hide under the belly of things. And everybody's like, wow, he's fucking clever. It's like, yeah, well, for back then, that was clever. But really, it's just one thing.
I feel almost like I ought to try to come up with some kind of counter argument for that, but
good luck.
Yeah. Okay.
Iron Man's.
I see what you.
His trick is his armor. It's always his armor. Whether he's fighting a distant warlord with mystical rings or a giant dragon or a Russian spy, it's his armor. Sometimes it has a nose. Sometimes it has roller skates. But no matter what, it's his armor.
Sometimes he plugs it into the wall to recharge the battery.
With no grounding prong. I'm just like, what the shit?
No, yeah, it's just a 2-pronger. Yeah.
He doesn't even
like he used for a desk fan.
He doesn't.
Like,
yeah, he doesn't do much else. He's the armor guy. Both of them are distant romantics from those they love. Odysseus reluctantly leaves Penelope. So that's actually different from Stark, but the effect is roughly the same. He spends 20 years from the one that he loves, bouncing around to different women on the way back, including Circe and the Sirens, and finally getting back to Penelope. Stark is too afraid to commit to anyone whom he loves. His ex's gallery almost exceeds his rogues gallery, and sometimes there's overlap.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
He has a woman with whom he feels the closest connection, but with whom he never really has a sexual or a romantic relationship, Pepper Potts. I know that they get it on a few different times in the 2000s, but the original story keeps their love as a platonic love. However, she is a constant for him, which he tries to get back to her. She ends up marrying Happy in the comics.
Yeah.
Both of them are too damn clever for their own good, like you said, and both have trust issues that end up hurting their efforts otherwise. Odysseus gets help from all sorts of folks, but ends up not sharing the information with his comrades. The result is that they get shut up in the cave with Polyphemus, and he falls asleep. And then Odysseus' men undo all the progress that they made by opening the bag of winds from Aeolus. Right? So when they're going back, right? Neither one is known for their physical prowess, but they're able to hang with the big boys as a result of their mental prowess. Similar to your Batman. Here it's interesting that both of them end up being pretty solid athletes, though. Odysseus fights to a draw with Ajax in a wrestling contest and beats another man at a foot race. He also had a bow, which nobody else can string, and he's an expert marksman. Tony Stark grows into a stronger body, which is always hampered by his heart condition and his alcoholism, but he does begin training out of armor with the more martially adept Avengers to make him a more formidable opponent.
And I think it should be pointed out in the case of Odysseus specifically that most of the sources we have in regard to Odysseus are Homeric.
Yes.
And the audience for whom Homer was composing and performing were the warrior kings of the Achaeans.
Right.
For whom, okay, this guy is a guile hero, but even as a guile hero, he still needs to be a warrior.
Yes.
And so based on context of the times, Odysseus. There's a great science fiction trilogy in which Odysseus or a quantum clone. It's weird, but anyway, Odysseus shows up as a character. And, we think of him as being this, he gets by on cleverness and sideways thinking, and he solidly kicks the shit out of everybody else in the book because they're all soft moderns, and he's a Bronze Age Greek warrior king. Right. So when we talk about, not being much of a physical specimen, I think there needs to be, an asterisk
for his time. Yeah.
There. Yeah. For his time.
So my next one is
compared to Ajax. Right. Come on.
My next one is Achilles.
Okay.
Hulk.
Cap.
Hulk.
Oh, Hulk.
Hulk.
Oh,
so
right.
Thoroughly not Achilles.
Super strong.
Rage
strong.
personified.
Okay,
yeah. Hulk is what happens when you make Bruce Banner angry. His strength increases with his rage to the point where the Hulk is the strongest there is. Achilles is prone to rage, especially if he ever feels slighted. When he's enraged, he even fights the god of the fricking river, who objects to him killing so many men that it choked the river. Zeus has to slow down Achilles so that he doesn't sack Troy all by himself, hunting down Hector.
Yep.
At least 2 different gods come to him and directly tell him to rage less hotly.
Yeah.
The first 2 lines of the Iliad: "Sing, O goddess, the anger of Achilles, son of Peleus, that brought countless ills upon the Achaeans. Many a brave soul did it send hurrying down to Hades, and many a hero did it yield a prey to dogs and vultures. For so were the counsels of Jove fulfilled from that day on which the son of Atreus, king of men, and great Achilles first fell out with one another." So the whole point of the Iliad is like Achilles is a dick. That's basically the subtitle.
Achilles has no chill.
Yeah. When he kills...
He's the dark side of Gryffindor.
Yeah. When he kills Hector, Hector begs him to treat his body with respect. Achilles refuses, citing his rage again. Achilles, you wouldn't like him when he's angry. Hulk leaves the Avengers almost as quickly as he joined them because he doesn't feel respected by them. Which, that's Achilles staying in his tent.
Right, okay.
He refuses to fight alongside the Greeks under Agamemnon during the Trojan War over a slight to his honor. Hulk overreacts to things in his Hulk state. He mostly just wants to be left alone to do his own thing, and when he isn't, he breaks everything always. He destroyed entire towns in New Mexico. He wrecks entire regiments of the army sent after him by General Ross. Achilles didn't just kill Hector. He defiled his corpse on purpose, dragging it 3 times around Troy before taking the body back to his own tent to brood and deny Hector's family the burial rites. Which leads to the old joke of Hector in the streets, Paris in the sheets.
Oh.
Don't tell me it's too soon.
It forever will be.
Yeah.
Too soon.
That's why this is a timeless tale. Hulk is the strongest there is, and so is Achilles in the Iliad. And Hulk is constantly beset by those who are smarter than he is, who are manipulating him and trying to hurt him. General Ross is always trying to catch him. Leader is one of his main foils. He's easily manipulated into violence by Loki in the very first issue of the Avengers, and Achilles is tricked by Odysseus into fighting the Trojan War by a horn. He's again manipulated by his mother and the gods, whom Agamemnon has secured the guarantee of victory from by killing Iphigenia. I can never say her name right. Iphigenia. Sorry. The Latinist in me wants to make it all a hard G.
Yeah.
Now, Hulk has Rick Jones.
Yes.
Achilles has Patroclus. Rick Jones is the one person whom Hulk values. Betty Ross is actually more valued by Bruce Banner than by the Hulk.
Well,
Rick,
yeah.
Yeah, Rick is one of the few people who can actually calm down the Hulk and is one of the few who looks out for the Hulk. And he's one of the very few whom Hulk will actively seek to protect despite all his rage. I'm not going to do that joke. Don't worry. Yeah. Achilles has Patroclus, his beloved Patroclus, to whom he is more loyal to than anyone else. And when he's killed, it's fucking over for anyone else.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Ready for Diomedes?
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know if you say Diomedes or Diomedes, but I say Diomedes. A lot of folks are going to claim that Hawkeye is Bellerophon. I'm going to say he's Diomedes. Oh, so I guess I'll say it. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people will claim Bellerophon because archery, distance shooting, and whatnot, and that's totally valid. But that's the only method of the fight, not the man in the fight.
Okay.
So you're not talking about the guy, you're talking about the way he fights. Well, I mean, fuck, you could say Odysseus would be Hawkeye if it was about a bow. Hawkeye is forever fighting above his weight class. He went into the Secret Wars with a bunch of arrows and a bow, where the Beyonder took everybody away, and he was there, and he had arrows and a bow. And when he ran out of arrows, he grabbed sticks and made more. He just starts he runs out of trick arrows, and they're like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm making arrows. And they're like, why? He's like, because for me, this is the same as like a 45 slug. I don't know what you got, but this is all I got. More importantly, he and Diomedes have similar origins. Both have relatively fatherless pasts. Both started as plunderers. Hawkeye is in the carnival working with swordsmen, and Diomedes is as one of the Epigoni. Anyway, these are people who ransacked Thebes. He also defeated Aeneas once in battle.
Right.
Yeah. Just as Hawkeye has defeated almost very many of the heroes in the Marvel Universe in fights. That's kind of the fun part of it's like, well, how's Hawkeye going to beat this guy, you know? Yeah. He, Diomedes, was the only mortal besides Hercules to have the ability to directly combat the gods. He was way out of his depth, and he still managed to wound both Ares and Aphrodite. And he does it while keeping away from hubris, unlike Achilles and Hercules do. He's not the heavy hitter that the others are, but he ends up doing the same kinds of things. And again, he damaged gods. He also earns respect from several other Greeks known for their wisdom, prowess, and cunning. He has no problem criticizing his leaders. Hawkeye was forever the beta to Cap's alpha, forcing Cap to be sharp at all times, while still earning and giving him begrudging respect. Hawkeye also encouraged Cap when Cap felt low, just like Diomedes did with Agamemnon. Hawkeye is forever antagonizing stronger members of the Avengers, especially Hulk, when he's on the team. Calls him Jade Jaws and all kinds of shit. Is ready to go toe-to-toe with him. Diomedes specifically antagonizes Achilles.
Yeah, speaking of self-destructive impulses.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now, the next hero is Hercules.
Okay.
Hercules is Thor.
Thor.
Yes. I know Thor is Thor and Hercules is Hercules, but really Hercules is totally Thor. Hercules is renowned for his strength. He's stronger than even Achilles, partly because he's a god. Same thing with Thor.
Yeah.
He's the strongest Avenger, stronger even than the Hulk when raging. But really, it's his cleverness that Hercules uses to win the day.
Okay.
He couldn't have done it without his strength. That's to be sure. But he's clever using his strength when he cleans out the Aegean stables. That wit-strength combo is what defeats the Hydra. It's what figures out and solves the problem that Cacus creates for him with the bulls. It's what gets him the golden apples guarded by Atlas's daughters, the Hesperides. Every time he uses his brains as well as his brawn, he only gets credit mostly for his brawn. Thor...
The Nemean lion.
Yeah. Marvel's Thor. Okay? Not Thor of the Norse, but Marvel's Thor gets the same treatment. Yeah. He's the strongest Avenger. He's an actual god, like I said. But he's regularly outthinking his foes in the early comics, from the Wrecking Crew to the Absorbing Man. Now, to be fair, that's a low bar, but still. Again, he has plenty of strength to do it, but he combines it with his underrated wits. Hercules and Eurystheus is very similar to many Thor versus Loki stories. Hercules is beset by Eurystheus as a punishment for his own excesses. Hercules slaughtered his own family in an excessive moment. And as a result, he has to complete 12 labors, which eventually gets stretched to 14 because Hercules completed a couple of them with help. Eurystheus was never a match for Hercules in terms of brawn, but he was on par with him in terms of intelligence. Again, low bar, but enough. His cunning and his power, his schemes and machinations were what gave Hercules his difficulties over and over again. Thor is constantly assailed by Loki's schemes. Thor enabled, Loki hyperpowers several of Thor's foes. He rarely confronted Thor directly. He set up Hulk as a foil to Thor in the inaugural issue of the Avengers. He does all that he can and all his schemes just to bug Thor. Both of them are given to excess, both when it comes to drinking, especially. It's their very core trait, is getting drunk. That slim balance between restraint and excess is their defining, interesting thing. In the end, both Hercules and Thor are fated for heartache, by the way, and eventual destruction.
Yes.
All right. Jason. Right. Jason, not a demigod, but worthy of mention here. Jason is Nick Fury.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. His parentage is a matter of mystery.
Yeah.
There's a clear patrilineal line, but the matrilineal line is fuzzy at best. His father was a renowned warrior. Nick Fury himself was a renowned warrior, just like Jason. Fury crosses the water a number of times. In his case, it's the Atlantic Ocean, just as Jason comes across the Iolus River. As both men come to age, they set up an organization of exceptional people who use a majestic ship to travel and complete impossible missions.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah. Jason had the Argonauts. Nick Fury had S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jason is also eventually...
And a helicarrier.
Yep.
Right.
Eventually joined by Medea, a very intelligent, very resourceful, and very dedicated helpmate. She's also batshit crazy and kills her kids with him after using her magic to trick the daughters of the king into killing their father. Nick Fury is also joined eventually by Maria Hill, a very intelligent, very resourceful, and very dedicated lieutenant. And also, she's a goddamn zealot whose zeal in registering superhumans ends up getting plenty people killed.
Yeah.
Jason is eventually killed because his boat falls on him.
Yeah.
Nick Fury died a bunch of times, but he had LMDs to take his place.
Yeah.
But at least once he had a helicarrier crash with him in it.
Yeah.
So
now, for the Greeks, of course, Jason's sad ending was supposed to be a poetic statement about, decay and your glory days ending,
right.
And his tragic ending was that he lived long enough that he stopped
useless.
being heroic.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Which,
I always look at the comedy of it because he's hanging out in the shadow of his ship, which has been drawn up on the ocean. I just kind of picture him with like an open shirt, sitting on a beach chair, drinking out of a coconut.
Big floppy hat on his head, drinking out.
And then just what a breeze.
Little paper umbrella in his drink.
What? Oh shit! And then. So.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I can see that.
So Atalanta.
Okay.
Black Widow.
Okay.
She was left on a mountaintop. This is Atalanta. Was left on a mountaintop to die. She wants no children, and she was a renowned archer and runner. She killed 2 centaurs who tried to rape her. Black Widow was orphaned very early on, raised amongst others to be a super spy. She was also unable to have children. She ends up defecting to America, driven by her love of Hawkeye in the early comics, whom she acknowledged at least as her equal in combat. Atalanta was eventually rediscovered by her father and would only marry someone who could best her in a foot race. Both women live life on their own terms, refusing the traditional roles that are assigned to women at the time, becoming lethal in the process. It's also possible that Atalanta was included on the Argo, paralleling the work that Black Widow did with Nick Fury, but I haven't found enough to say yes, she was one of the 50. So,
okay.
Although it's interesting because when they mention who's amongst the Argonauts, like they don't mention Calais and Zetes, who both have wings. It's like they mention Orpheus, who totally, by the way, would be Star-Lord.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially after Endgame.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about the fact that he's a bit of a moron.
You couldn't stick with a plan for 15 minutes. Like
exactly.
you couldn't stick with it. Yeah. You got your fifis hurt.
Yeah.
You got your fifis hurt, and you had to turn around and look back.
Yeah.
All you had to do was keep walking forward.
Yep.
Just don't turn around. Don't look behind you. All you had to do was not punch fucking Thanos.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just that.
That's it.
Also, the music, the tie to the music.
Good point.
So.
And I can imagine both Star-Lord and Orpheus, being told you only have one instruction: don't fuck up, and responding with, "This is hard."
Yeah. Don't call us plucky. We don't know what that means. All right, just dumb.
Yeah.
Dumber in a bag of hair.
Oh my God.
That's Orpheus.
Yeah.
So, all right, the last one of the lot, Aeneas. Okay. This is your Captain America.
Okay.
Steve Rogers.
All right.
Went into the water. Okay. Crashed into the water, fighting for the society that he was loyal to, social democracy. Okay. Fell off the rocket. Okay.
Yeah.
He was fighting against the invaders and disruptors of that society, and he did not get to see the battle through to the end. And when he came back out of the water, he was defrosted. He helped to build and protect the society he'd always been loyal to, safeguarding it with his fighting prowess and his integrity. Aeneas was known for 2 things, and it's in the very first line, but he's known for 2 things: his ability to fight and his piety. His devotion to that which was Troy and his devotion to his duty toward the gods both guide his every single action. He is fated to be the founder of that which would eventually become Rome. The Aeneid starts with Arma virumque cano. I sing the arms and the man.
Right.
Now
Right.
that's also fan fiction of the Iliad and the Odyssey, but I sing the arms and the man who is known for his piety and duty toward the homeland. Aeneas is
Okay.
Aeneas is fated to make huge enemies, but ultimately to succeed. And he goes through every single trial, and only once ever does his faith ever waver. And it's very brief because he's being swirled all around by the waters in book 1. When he finally finds a safe harbor, he doesn't stop working. He immediately goes to tending toward his men. So they get this safe harbor. Juno's can't kill them, but she's trying to kill them. And they finally land in this really safe harbor. And at that moment, all his men just kind of collapse on the ground. He goes hunting, looks for stags, and he slays 7. He fells 7 stags with his sidekick with him, by the way, Bucky. And he brings the meat back to all the ships, and he encourages his men to carry on, and he presses his concerns deep down in his heart. Cap has his fair share of enemies. They're mostly Nazis who are roughly as powerful as Cap. But it's his integrity and his refusal to quit. It's his loyalty to the ideals of his nation. Those are what keep him going. That's exactly what keeps Aeneas going. Also, the fact that he's the leader of the Avengers doesn't hurt either.
No.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't.
Aeneas goes to the underworld at one point. He's one of a very few demigods who's allowed into the underworld. And it's funny, too, because when Charon, which, by the way, my students started calling him Sharon almost immediately when I taught the Aeneid, because he totally is that. So we all picture him now as having a bob cut, wearing Lululemons, and yelling at other kids for being at the park while her kid is doing soccer. So that's Charon. Nice. But he shows up, and Charon's like, "Oh, you're way too heavy for this boat. You're still alive." And Sybil's with Aeneas, and she's like, "No, check it out. He's Aeneas." He's like, "Nobody gets to come down here armed." And she's like, "Dude, this is Aeneas. He's Aeneas the armed. He's Aeneas the pious." And Charon looks at him and goes, No. Last 2 demigods to come down here, they fucked things up. One tried to steal the dog. The other one tried to steal the wife. No, you don't get to come down here. No.
Yeah. I'm done with your fucking demigods.
That's right. Yeah,
right?
No, y'all are trouble.
You're not. No,
right.
No. You know what? No. For some reason, now I'm hearing him sounding like he has the New York accent. No. Look, all right. I don't care. Okay. The last 2 you people that came down here, you want to know what you did? You fucked everything up.
It's Joe
right?
Pesci.
One of you tried to steal the fucking dog. Okay. No. Don't do that. We need that dog. All right. All right,
it's Joe Pesci.
You want to know what happens? You want to know what happens? We get a cat down here.
Yeah.
You want to know? You want to know how bad things get? No, we need that fucking dog. All right, number 1. Number two. Trying to you come down. Fucking Orpheus comes down here, tries to get his wife out of here. What happens? He turns around because the motherfucker can't. No. No. All he had to do was walk straight fucking ahead. That's it. No more of you. No more of you punks. No, I'm not. No. Just turn the fuck around, go home.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah. Besides which, you're too fucking heavy for the boat. Get out of here.
No. You take the Staten Island ferry. Get your ass off of here. You know.
Get out of here. Fuck off with that.
No more you Long Island bastards. So he's actually allowed in, largely because of the argument of piety. Now, the menace of the water is an interesting...
All right. Fine. You go to church. All right. Okay, look. If you're in good with the bishop, all right, fine. Come on.
Walk diagonal.
Don't tell nobody.
Just like the bishop, but walk diagonal.
Yeah, don't. Look. Just don't tell nobody, all right? Come on.
I saw nothing.
Keep this on the down low.
That's right.
Saw nothing.
So...
Sorry.
It's okay. What I found interesting between these two is that there's this constancy of menace anytime they're on the water. So both man's status as a man of singular integrity and fighting prowess is just as constant. So essentially, while they're on land, they're doing well. Anytime they're near water, they're both in danger. both men are trying to hold on to the ideals of his homeland and embodying the best parts of those cultures. Stan Lee specifically said of Captain America, although Captain America has the least spectacular superpower of all, the mantle of leadership falls naturally upon him as though he was born to command. Here's what Livy said about Aeneas. King Latinus was so struck with the noble bearing of the men and their leader, Aeneas, and their readiness to accept alike either peace or war, that he gave his right hand as a solemn pledge of friendship for the future. So both men were just natural leaders.
So I want to get back to that thing about water.
Yeah.
Real quick, because something that comes up in Celtic myth, which is not Mediterranean, but they had a lot of contact.
Oh, well, it is Mediterranean. Southern Gaul is absolutely on the Mediterranean.
All right. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
But one of the things that keeps coming up in like Irish folklore is you have the Fomori, who are, shapeless, goblinoid, semi-demonic, and there is a connection thematically that sometimes is more overt and sometimes is more covert between the depths of the ocean and the underworld and death.
So many ways to die on the ocean.
Yeah, and the Fomori were like demons out of the underworld, essentially, and they came from the ocean. They all, many, like more than half of them are described as having some level of fish-like traits, whether having big goggle eyes like a fish or actually having a fish's head or scaly or whatever. And I think it's just interesting that like there's this menace for these two characters anytime they're near water.
Yes.
Well,
and don't forget that
primordial death and all that kind of stuff.
Achilles was leader of the Myrmidons, wasn't he?
Yes.
And the Myrmidons are dressed like... Aren't they dressed like fish?
I'd have to look it up, but I think
there's a link there. But again, Greek mythology is literally surrounded by water.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of ways to die. So you're absolutely right on that. Now, the ultimate strength that Marvel has always had has been its vulnerability and failings of its characters. Every character has a fatal flaw to balance out his or her amazing ability. Every character has a mundane aspect to them that was grounding them in their superhuman ability. In this contrast, in this focus on what makes the superhuman human, it touched back on why people started making up stories of demigods in the first place. People need to relate to their heroes who emphasize their ideals. I don't think any of that's changed. And the only thing that's changed really has been the emphasis and our ideals. But the process itself remains the same.
Yeah, well, gods were created to tell the stories of why the universe behaves the way it does. When you start getting into stories about these are what our ideals are, you move away from gods as protagonists and you move to demigods and heroes as protagonists, because those first stories don't need to be relatable.
Right. Why the universe is the way
they need to have
is very different than why are we the way we are.
Yes, very good way of putting it. Yeah. And who do we want to be, and what are the things we value, and what happens when we live up to that or don't live up to that ideal. For those stories to be compelling or useful, I'm actually going to go with useful in this context. In order for them to do the job of educating everybody in your community about this is who we are, this is how we work, that needs to be relatable. Whereas, the reason the sun behaves the way it does in the sky is because this thing happened between Apollo and Zeus. You need to have, or on that level, you need to have the personification of that to make it, understandable. But it doesn't need to be relatable.
I would agree. I would absolutely agree.
So,
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, when you're describing cosmology, DC. When you're describing humanity, Marvel.
Yep.
So, well, that's it for me.
Yeah.
Here's what I would love. I would love for people to contact us with different heroes and different gods, or different heroes and different demigods, or just like, hey, here's why you got that wrong, or here's, wow, I never thought of it that way.
Oh yeah.
Please hit me up at @DaHarmony, either on Twitter or on Insta. And where can they hit you?
Please not the face, but on Twitter I'm Blaylock. On Instagram I'm Mr. Blaylock, Mr. Blaylock.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can reach both of us simultaneously at Geek History Time on Twitter.
Yes. So, in order to close this down a little quicker, let's not recommend books, because we just talked about comic books and Greek myths. And if you can't find something to read out of all that,
we don't know what to do for you, man.
Yeah.
There's no helping you.
Yeah. So, but for Geek History of Time, I'm Damian Harmony.
And I'm Ed Blaylock. And until next time, plug your ears when you're going past sirens.